Let's look at the 3 secret settings that nobody talks about on the DJI Mini 2. So before I get in and talk about the first secret setting that nobody talks about in the DJI Mini 2, I just want to say if you like this video and you learned something new, please make sure to hit the like button. And if you're new around here and like drone related content and haven't subscribed, please make sure to subscribe and please make sure the notification bell's on so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. So the first secret setting that nobody really talks about with the DJI Mini 2 is its ability to do a dolly zoom. So what is a dolly zoom? Well, a dolly zoom can also be known as the vertigo effect, and it's basically an in-camera effect where you move toward a subject or away from a subject while doing the opposite zoom motion. So for example, if you're flying towards a subject, you'll zoom out, and if you're flying away from a subject, you'll zoom in. And it creates this really cool and unique effect that you've probably seen in some of your favorite Hollywood films. So how do we do it with the DJI Mini 2? Well, this is the secret setting that not very many people know about. And that is if you hold down your function button, you can use the gimbal wheel to control the zoom of the DJI Mini 2. And this is just a much better and practical method of doing it than trying to do it with your finger on the app. Because if you try and do it with your finger on the app while also trying to fly the drone, you can not get very smooth zooming motion. Whereas if you're using the function button, the gimbal wheel, this means you can continue to fly your drone while also doing a really nice smooth zoom motion. And this is key to being able to do a really convincing dolly zoom. So what you want to do is you want to get your subject in front of the drone, start with the drone pretty close to your subject, and you want to start flying back. And as you start flying back, you want to press and hold the function button and gimbal to zoom in. So you're zooming in as you fly back. Now this may take a few goes to get the motion correct. You need to match the speed you're flying backwards to the speed you're zooming in to get a really convincing dolly zoom effect. So it's going to take a couple of goes until you get them 2 motions in sync. Alternatively, you can start far out from the subject and fly towards the subject and zoom out as you're flying towards the subject. Obviously doing it this way is going to be less safe than if you start close to the object, because if you start close to the object, you're flying away from it. Whereas if you're flying towards your subject, you've got a lot going on. You're trying to control the drone while trying to control the zoom, while trying to match the 2 motions, and there's a possibility that you might hit your subject. So I would recommend that you start at the subject and fly away. If you want the effect of flying towards the subject as you zoom out, just do the process of starting close to the subject and flying away and then reverse it in post. It's a much safer way of doing it. And doing that, you'll get this really awesome Hollywood effect. Why not go out, try it out? It's a motion that you don't see very many people doing and create some awesome looking shots. The second secret setting that you don't see very many people talk about but it's extremely useful is being able to customize the function button and specifically customize it so that when you double tap it, the gimbal recenters. It's a trick I find amazingly useful. So you can do this by going into settings and you can change the double tap function of the function button to recenter the gimbal. And this can be incredibly useful. For example, if you're out flying and you've been concentrating on a point of interest and you just want to get the drone looking back up to the horizon so you can move the drone into a new location, all you need to do is double tap and that will recenter the gimbal. It also has a great benefit of if you're looking at the horizon and you double tap it, it will recenter the gimbal facing straight down. And then if you double tap it again, it will bring the gimbal back up to facing the horizon. So this means you can alternate between straight down shots and looking at the horizon really quickly without using the gimbal wheel, just by double tapping the function button. And this is just super handy. There's loads of times you need to recenter your gimbal, and using the control wheel works. There's nothing wrong with it, but just simply being able to double tap the function button to recenter that gimbal is a much quicker and more efficient way to get that gimbal recentered. Saving time whenever you're out flying your drone is really important because you want to get the most cinematic shots possible for each battery. And if you're wasting time trying to reset your drone in different locations and reset your gimbal, that's time you could be getting more cinematic footage. And so this is an awesome, neat little trick that means you can switch between top, down, and straightforward shots really quickly and just recenter your gimbal literally at a double tap of a button. So I recommend you set your double tap functionality to recenter that gimbal. It'll save you so much time and help you get more cinematic footage with that time you've gained back. The last secret setting that not many people talk about, and it is super useful especially for beginners, is being able to find out when a forced landing will happen. We've all seen these videos online of people that are out pushing the boundaries of their drone, doing distance limit tests to see how far they can fly their drone or how far they can fly their drone and get it back, range tests, and invariably they always end in tears when someone's drone starts to force land over water and they lose that drone. And it strikes fear into beginner drone pilots. Nobody wants to lose their drone due to a forced landing. So how do you know when a forced landing will happen? Well, we all have it ingrained in our head, and we all know that a forced landing will happen when the battery gets critically low. But how do you know exactly when? Well, not many people know, but if you actually press the battery indicator on the DJI Fly app, it opens out to give you more information. Not only will you see how much battery is left, when the return to home phase of low battery will happen, but also when a forced landing will happen. The best part about this is it tells you how many minutes and seconds away it is from happening, not a percentage. It's really easy to get caught out if your drone says, for example, 30% battery remaining, to think, well, I'm sure I've got enough time yet. I'm sure I've got a couple of minutes left yet. But you don't really know exactly how much time that is. A percentage is hard to compute. What's great about this expanded menu is it literally gives you the minutes and seconds until a function will happen. So now you don't need to worry. You can say, okay, in 2 minutes, it's going to return to home because it's got low battery. In 3 minutes, it's going to do a forced landing for low battery. So I know exactly how much time I have left. This is super beneficial because you really don't want your drone to do a forced landing because of low battery, because you want to have full control over your drone when it's coming in to land. That's why you want to bring your drone back and have it landed before it ever even gets that return to home low battery or forced landing phase, because once your drone starts a forced landing, it's coming down regardless what you do. All you can do is try and fly it around to bring it back to you, but you cannot control the height. It is coming down no matter what, and that's just not something you want to happen. You're losing one of the controls you have over your drone in terms of height, and that's an input you don't no longer have, and that just opens up the possibility of you crashing your drone or landing your drone somewhere not ideal. So always try and bring your drone back and land it long before that forced landing ever happens. And now, because of that expanded menu, you know how many minutes away it is from happening, so you can have your drone back and safe before you're ever in that territory of needing to do a forced landing. So hopefully these free secret settings that no one really knows or talks about with the DJI Mini 2 will help you when you're out flying. And if they do and you've learned something new, please make sure to hit the like button. And if you're new around here and haven't subscribed, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you like drone related content, please make sure the notification bell's on so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.